for the Stallions, number 1, Quentin Rawls.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cartersville as we get your baseball underway. ABAC and East Georgia, and some aggressive base running. Quentin Rawls leading it off with a 2-bagger as we get your baseball underway here in Cartersville, Georgia. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson along with the commissioner of the GCAA, Dave Elmer. Dave, how you doing?
Back at it.
Yep.
We were here, just seemed like 24 hours ago. But no, last week was softball, finished up softball. Now we turn our attention to baseball.
And in this one, you got ABAC and East Georgia. The excitement of this game is it's a play-in game. So it's not like you've got something you can fall back on. If you lose this one, you got to win it.
No, this game and then our 3 o'clock game with Andrew and South Georgia State is also a play-in game. And basically, this first day one is a single elimination to get us down to 4 teams for a double elimination tournament. And that starts tomorrow. Georgia Highlands and Gordon State are sitting back watching these games today, and they'll play against the winner of both of these games tomorrow.
So you want to have a great year. Obviously, everybody does, but you're rewarded for the great year. You get a 1 or 2 seeding, and you get a bye. You let these guys kind of beat up on each other, expend some of their pitching.
Well, that's the purpose of playing 25 conference games in the season. You know, you get to show your mettle there, what you've got, and let the chips fall where they may, and they do. And that's where our season. There's a ball hitting in the gap.
Collier on. Rawls rounding second, coming home. He'll score back-to-back doubles, and ABAC's on the board.
And so what we've got, 1 and 2 get the buys, and 4 plays 5 in this game. 3 plays 3 seed, plays 6 seed in the 3 o'clock game, and those winners move on to tomorrow. The winner of this game will take on Georgia Highlands at noon tomorrow. The winner of the 3 o'clock game will take on Gordon State at 3 tomorrow. And 2 losers today, they go home. Their season's over with, and they plan for next year.
Taking a look at that ABAC lineup, Quentin Rawls, the one hitter. He had a double, has already scored. Then his 1 hop to third. Coleman's got it, goes to first, and Rothschild out on the 5-3. And staying put at second is Collier. So one away. Kenton Collier is at second. He's the 2-hitter. Got an RBI with his double. Drew Rothschild, the 3-hitter, just wrapped into the 5-3. C.J. Rose batting 4th. Cameron Campbell 5th. Matthew Glass is the 6-hitter. Chasen Cash is the 7 guy. Joe Fisher batting 8th, and Wyatt Talik is in the 9 hole. A.J. Troop getting the start for East Georgia on the bump. Behind the plate is Tanner Jones. Thomas Saxon at first. Noah Hollis is the second baseman as this one is lifted towards center field, and Jaden Vasquez, he'll make the catch. Tagging Collier on his way to third. He will get there with a head first dive. And there's 2 away. Shortstop for East Georgia, Robbie Lane. And at third, John Coleman. Got an outfield of Jakari Howard in left, center fielder Jaden Vasquez, and the right fielder is Craig Heflin. And it's chopped in the direction of second. Hollis has got it, throws it away over at first. That'll be a single and an error in my book. He got the single, had Campbell on regardless, but the throwing error gets him to second.
But again, okay, if that's the case.
Now batting for the Stallions, the DH, number 12, Matthew Black.
So a 2-zip ball game, and a base runner at second again.
Well, for a second there, I thought I was getting feedback from the other side of the press box in here. Well, once again, you strategically place your mics, and it's right. The Major League Scouts are right underneath.
Yeah, we're going to have to find another spot, I guess.
Yeah, so if you at home hear something about this player being a 5-tool player, it's some pro scouts down below talking about this guy or that guy.
They probably, if they knew the mic was hot, would be going, let's not sit here.
Well, in between innings, I'll let them know, hey, guys, you do realize you got a hot mic above.
Definitely rose-colored glasses.
1 ball, 1 strike. Matthew Glass chasing Cash to the on-deck circle. Well, and I'm trying to see if there's a place I can situate it a little. Maybe get it away from that one particular conversation. 1-2 pitch to Matthew Glass. Swings, misses, he'll go down. 2 runs are in, though. ABAC takes a 2-zip lead into the bottom of the first.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Leading off for the Bobcats, number 42, Jakari Howard.
Bottom of the first, Jakari Howard leading it off. Robbie Lane is the 2-hitter. John Coleman hits 3rd. Thomas Saxon in the 4th spot. Tanner Jones hitting 5th. Jaden Vasquez is the 6-hitter. Noah Hollis in the 7th spot. Chase Gilligan will hit 8th. And Craig Heflin is the 9 guy. Jordan Stevens getting the start on the bump for ABAC. Behind the plate is Wyatt Talik. The first baseman is C.J. Rose. At second, Drew Rothschild. And at shortstop, Quentin Rawls. Third baseman, Chasen Cash. Joe Fisher is in left. Kenton Collier is in center. And Cameron Campbell is in right. 2 runs played in the top part of the inning. ABAC with a 2-zip lead as we get the bottom part underway. That is hit towards left field. And coming over to make the catch, that is Joe Fisher and Howard out number 1. Well, Dave Elder, a lot of baseball to be played, but if you're ABAC, you like the start. You got off to with back-to-back doubles, 2 runs come in.
Yep, you know what? You got that second run on an error, and you know we've done this long enough. You got to make the routine plays, and little things like that are what end up costing teams ball games.
Robbie Lane followed by John Coleman at the brand new complex, never used until this year because it's never been here until this year.
Yes, this is a great facility, $10.2 million complex with softball and baseball. Had the pleasure of being here, you and I both, last week. Took care of business with softball tournament, crowned a champion. ABAC Phillies going out, heading to NAIA. So they went out in style, so to speak. So they're hosting Mid-Atlantic District this Wednesday and Thursday against Florence Darlington Technical College. Best 2 out of 3, play 2 on Wednesday. If game, championship game on Thursday.
Wrapped over to Orange second. Rothschild's got it, whips it to first, laying out on the 4-3. And by the way, we'll be there. Whether they've got internet or not, we are going to be there. They're working on internet at the Diamond. And if that be the case, obviously you can watch the game live. If they do not have internet, it will be recorded and uploaded later on in the day.
Thanks.
So one way or the other, you're going to be able to watch.
And we'll go ahead and throw a disclaimer out. If it's not live, don't go looking for the scores, because then you might be disappointed when it comes time to watching it on tape delay.
Foul out of play. Wasn't it Frazier's father on Frazier who was watching something late? Please don't tell me Frazier lets it slip out. So don't let it slip out. But hopefully we're going to be streaming it live from Tifton, Georgia.
They are working fervently down there to make that happen.
Well, what a game, too, that ABAC had against Gordon. Looked like we were going to an if game, got an out, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th, 2-zip Gordon lead.
Then the big momentum.
Yep, it shifted, and in the 8th, you knew it was pretty much over when the bases got loaded and nobody gone. But what a great year for all 4 teams that made it, and obviously ABAC that's made it further. Going to the districts on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, which is the last step before the Nationals. And apparently Gaston got upset.
Yes, they did.
That region, what is it, 10?
Region 10. And that's why you play the game, because you never know what's going to happen, who gets hot.
Strike 3 on the inside part of the plate, and out will go John Coleman. Nobody scores in the bottom of the 1st. 1 in the books, ABAC by 2.
Leading off at the top of the 2nd for the Stallions, number 10, Jason Cash.
Top of the 2nd, Jason Cash starts it. Joe Fisher, Wyatt Talig, 2 up in the inning, 2. ABAC with a couple of runs in the 1st. East Georgia goes 1, 2, 3. As we head to the 2nd, swing and a miss by Cash. A.J. Troop on that bump for East Georgia. And taking a look at the Troop numbers on the year, as that one will get back to the screen and out of play. 10 appearances, 3 starts, 1-1, 32 2/3 innings. 36 hits given up, 24 runs, 22 earned. A 6.06 ERA. And took a strange hop and went foul. Looked like it was going to stay fair. Charging into field was Coleman. And then it just took a, I guess if you're the hitter, a left turn. If you're the fielder, a right turn. and goes out of play. The rest of the troop numbers 30 strikeouts, 4 home runs allowed. Cash, Fisher, and Talik here in the top of the second. And great to have you watching. Whether you are watching on the GCAA Sports Network through the website or on YouTube. It is a little warm, and that's what you see, kind of a heat effect rising up off the turf here. As it is sent towards short, lane backs up the field, goes to first. It's there before Cash, and there's one away. First of a couple of games. And in the nightcap, it'll be South Georgia State taking on Andrew College. And, of course, we're hoping that is not literally a nightcap into the night. Slated for a 3 p.m. start. Strike by Fisher. And I will cover it today and tomorrow. Jason Thompson will be in to work the Wednesday and Thursday games. Got Paul Travitsky headed to Tifton to bring you ABAC. And I think it was Florence. And then I'll head to Alabama. Got some D2 and D1 softball as well as D1 baseball there. So a busy, busy week here with a lot of JUCO. 1-2 the count on Joe Fisher. Fisher hitting .240 on the year. He'll strike out. K number 2 for Troop. And there's 2 away.
Now batting number 6, Wyatt Callett.
Tillink with a swing and miss. Couple of strikes on Tillink. Saxon, Jones, and Vasquez, 4, 5, and 6 in the East Georgia order when we head to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second and out away, a strike away. If you are Tillink, that is outside of the strike zone. 255 hitter on a 264 hitting ABAC squad. They have slapped 34 home runs this year. Let's see how many doubles because they had 2 in the first. Ground to first. Saxon's got it. Covering the bag is Troop. And out will go Tillink on the 3-1. So ABAC matches in the top of the second what East Georgia did in the bottom of the first. Goes 1, 2, 3. As we head to Saxon, Jones, and Vasquez.
Fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
West battle, White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Krabs got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
And don't forget to follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, as this one is lifted towards the wall and out of the park, right center field. Thomas Saxon with a homer leading off the second.
That's the Bobcats home run.
And with one swing of the bat off one pitch, you've got the lead cut in half.
Thomas Saxon. Now at the plate, the catcher, number 27, Tanner Jones.
Tanner Jones to the plate. As this one has popped up, foul territory, first base side. C.J. Rose there, he'll make the catch. And there is one away. Jaden Vasquez coming to the plate.
Now batting, number 23, Jaden Vasquez.
Noah Hollis moving to the on-deck circle. I mentioned Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Be sure to follow us and definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's just a click away. If you're watching on the website, then there should be a subscribe button somewhere. Click on it and subscribe. Trying to get to 4,000. We've been working on $4 grand for a bit. I think we're like 23 away from 4. 1-2 pitch. Able to dive and stop. Rose over to Stevens. Vasquez out on the 3-1.
I was waiting for this.
So 2 gone. Noah Hollis coming to the plate. Top of the order to the plate when you get to the top of the third for ABAC. Quentin Rawls, Kenton Collier, Drew Rothschild, all 2 up in the inning. Hollis with a swing and miss. Let's see, that Saxon round tripper. How many has that been on the year for Saxon? Oh, yeah. He's been pretty adept at home runs. It's his 20th. So that's not an oddity, not an aberration, not an anomaly. One ball, couple of strikes. Chase Gilligan on deck. That is softly hit to first, timing the jump, make that to second. Timing the jump was Drew Rothschild and times it perfectly. Line out by Hollis, 1 run in, Saxon on the home run. 2-1 ball game as we head to the third.
You've played some travel ball, you've shared the videos. Mom and Dad can only root so much. It's time to get real interest from the colleges and scouts in your area right where you live. That's why the Showcase Series is different. We're not just another tournament, we're an advancement event where you get real-time exposure with live TV coverage of our games that get you seen directly by the coaches you want to impress from anywhere in the world. Register for events at showcaseseries.org. It's your turn at bat.
Now batting to start the third, number 1, Quentin Rawls.
That's a little much. He's not quite ready. Not ready to go. You're talking about that.
Top of the third, top of the order, Quentin Rawls coming to the plate. Kenton Collier and Drew Rothschild, 2 up for ABAC. Taking a look at the standings over the course of the season. ABAC 10-15 in the conference, 18-29 overall. East Georgia also 10-15, but 32-23 was their overall mark. Low and away with a pitch to Rawls, who doubled to begin the ball game. These two teams played April 9, 12, and 13. And it was a split. They played in Tifton, East Georgia won. Played in Swainsboro, East Georgia won. There's a base hit, second one of the game for Rawls. On with a leadoff single in the third. And then in Swainsboro on the 13th, and 2 losses to ABAC. And one of them big, 20-4 in 7 innings. But based on the fact that 20-4 ball game went 7 would mean there was a lot of runs in a late inning. Well, as a matter of fact, I can bring up the box score and give you the specifics. 8 runs happened in the 4th. One count on Collier with a base runner aboard. Got a combination of sunshine and clouds, and some of the clouds do not look totally friendly. I mean, they don't look, real unfriendly, but they don't look particularly kind either. But hopefully we are going to steer clear of any precip. Gorgeous facility, by the way, the artificial turf. I mean, you're going to get baseball back underway quickly if it does rain. But here is the problem with rain. It drains to the outfield, which, by the way, happens to be where we've got some stuff to give you that look. And it is boggy beyond the fence in the outfield. Collier a double that drove in a run in the first. 3-2 the count on Collier.
I didn't realize until y'all played that on the radio. No, I'm sorry, no.
80 degrees currently. It does not mention any rain until maybe Thursday. Sliced foul and stays 3-2. But if you'll recall, we were here last week for softball, and there was no mention of rain. And we had some light rain and had a 90-minute lightning delay. If lightning pops within 8 miles of Cartersville, we put things on hold. Collier given a walk. Couple of base runners on for Drew Rothschild.
Next up for the Stallions with 2 on base, number 3, Drew Rothschild.
Blow it off.
You do see that umbrella in the stands, but that is for sun protection. That at the moment anyway is not to keep rain. As a matter of fact, as warm as it is today, you might like a few raindrops. Swing by Rothschild and a miss. 5-3 put out. Took care of Rothschild in the first. Air quality 21 and good. UV index 7 and high. Winds out of the south-southwest at 6, gusting to 15. Feels like 83. There's a base hit into left field for Rothschild, and the bases loaded for the Stallions. 5th ABAC hit of the game. Loaded for C.J. Rose. Cameron Campbell moving to the on-deck circle.
Now batting in the cleanup spot, number 5.
14-mile visibility. It says the next rain comes Wednesday. Let's hope that's right. I mean, we don't want rain on Wednesday because we're still playing baseball, but let's hope today's rain-free, and then we'll work on tomorrow, and Wednesday the day after. Outside with a pitch to Rose. Well, you know the odds. Bases loaded, nobody gone. Odds weigh in your favor to at least get a run out of it. Doesn't mean you will, but means the chances are good. Then went outside with a pitch 2-0, and they will get much better if this pitch misses. If you are A.J. Troop, you start to feel yourself getting into a bind if you run the count to 3-0. Does not. 2-1. Two balls, one strike. C.J. Rose with a fly out to center field in the first. And a couple of strikes. Troop battling back, count even at 2. By the way, good to have Jason Thompson watching. He's probably doing a little game prep, preparing for Wednesday and Thursday when he's behind the microphone. 3-2 the count. Not a guarantee that either of these teams will still be in it on Wednesday, but a good chance. Three-2 count on Rose. Dave was talking about all the gentlemen here sporting the 70s mustache on these squads. I'm thinking it was Gardner Minshew who got that started. He was a JUCO product, by the way. Came out of Mississippi, then I think played at, was it Oregon? Somewhere out west. Swing and miss, Rose goes down. And now if you're East Georgia, your odds getting a little better. And keeping that run from coming in. 1 away.
Now batting for the Stallions, number 31, Cameron Campbell.
Strikeout number 3 for Troop. He's got 1 per inning. Cameron Campbell reached on a single, went to second on an error. Represents one of the 5 ABAC base hits. This is 4 and 5 battling. In the 3 o'clock game, it is 3 and 6. High pitch to Campbell. I read fairly recently where artificial turf can be as much as 40 degrees warmer than the air temperature. Did a tournament, I guess it was a couple of summers ago, at Gulf Coast, where the coach showed me a picture of a player whose cleats had actually melted on this turf. Not this turf, but a similar turf. So yeah, it's 80, but a lot warmer where these guys are playing. 2-2 count on Campbell. Matthew Glass on deck. 8, 9, and 1 in the East Georgia order when you get to the bottom of inning number 3. Two offering. It will get out of play. And that is in and out of the bullpen on the East Georgia side. Well, the one thing about the drainage here and how boggy it is outside of the outfield fence as Campbell goes down, and now you really like your odds if you're East Georgia in shutting down ABAC, who had the bases loaded with nobody going. And now have them loaded with 2 away.
Number 12, Matthew Glass.
But at least if your responsibility is to chase down home run balls, you're not going to have to go out into the wilderness. I mean, it's just going to plop. Matthew Glass, the DH, struck out in the first. One of 4 A.J. Troop strikeouts in the game. A little bit inside with the offering 2-0. Georgia Highlands 20-5. Gordon 17-8 in the conference. Both get the day off. We won't see them until tomorrow. A little bit outside with a pitch. And for Georgia Highlands, it's the winner of this one. And for Gordon, it's the winner of the next one. Andrew College and South Georgia State. 3-0 count. Outside, walk given. There's that run. Boy, Troop had battled so hard to keep the run from coming in. Back-to-back strikeouts with the bases loaded, but then walks Glass.
The walks will always hurt you. In this case, bases loaded, he had nowhere to put him. And as a result, there's another run for ABAC.
Turns it into a 3-1 game, back to a 2-run lead. Chasing Cash coming to the plate. And if you were with us in the first, just rejoin us. Well, actually, I guess if you weren't with us in the first and joined us after the first, you're wondering who is that? Whose voice is that? It's now providing the brilliant color analysis that is Dave Elder, the commissioner.
Well, I had to step away. When 2 presidents walk in the booth and they want to talk to you, I think you step away. And
you say, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right over the mid and short of
That's
lane.
going to get 2. Can we get 3 out of that?
Collier's in, Rothschild's in, Cash. He is money, delivering 2. ABAC with a 4-run lead.
Did you tell people that Chasing Cash was on your all-name team?
I have not gotten to that yet, but you know it's coming.
Now batting number 4, Joe Fisher.
But yeah, he would be. I mean, how can you not have Chasing Cash on your all-names team? Joe Fisher struck out in the second. Well, and here's another one. I know this is simplistic in nature, but how can you not include somebody whose name is Gilligan? So Chase Gilligan's on there. Just, you know, the tie of Gilligan.
Those of us that grew up in that area would know that, and yeah, I could see that.
I realized how much of an old-timer I was last night as you got a visit on the bump with A.J. Troop, who looked like he was going to get out of the inning. Had the bases loaded with nobody gone and then struck out Rose and Campbell. But then walks Glass with the bases loaded and Cash doubles, driving in 2. So now the lead is 4. Last night, though, watching, what is it, Me TV? The Dick Van Dyke Show, the Honeymooners.
Was that the only station your hotel picked up?
No, there was about 200 channels, but that's
the one
that drew me.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, here, Robert, you know, we had 2 outs right there and just about to be out of the inning, and that is the key, going to be the key, big key in most, if not all, the games of this tournament. Who can capitalize on position with 2 outs and get runners across? And ABAC has done that so far with the 3 spot in this inning with 2 outs.
Joe Fisher, who struck out in the second at the plate. It was a 3-hit first inning for ABAC, and it has been a 3-hit third inning. Outside with the pitch. There is no tomorrow for the team that loses this one. The double elimination part of the tournament starts on Tuesday.
No, you don't say if you're playing in this game or 3 o'clock game, you're not saving any arms because they don't do you any good sitting in the bullpen if you lose one of the 2 games today.
Yep. 3-1 the count on Fisher. Gilligan, Heflin, and Howard when you get to the bottom of the third for East Georgia. Strike delivered to Fisher. So looking at the names, I think those are my 2 adds to the all-names team for this game. Chasen Cash and Chase Gilligan. That is fouled out of play. You know, and actually, both of them have kind of a unique connotation. Chasen Cash, obvious, and Chase Gilligan if you were the skipper. And folks that aren't our age are going, man, what?
Well, I'm sitting there thinking anybody's tuning in says, I need to go check it out. Yes, we'll go ahead and give you a disclaimer. That was probably one of the better ones back in the day, and that was.
Yep, and that was a day or 2 ago. Walk given to Fisher, bases loaded. Wyatt Talik coming to the plate. He is the 9th Stallion to come to the plate in the 3rd inning. Rawls led it off with a single. Collier walked. A single from Rothschild, loaded in. Rose and Campbell strike out. Since then, a walk of Glass that brought in a run. Cash doubles, brings in 2. And Fisher has walked, and the bases are full again for Wyatt Talik, who ground out to first in the 2nd. Outside with the pitch to Talik. Count even at 1. A little bit outside with the offering to make that. Yes, it is a 2-1 count. Well, we've got some quick reflexes over in the press box, keeping up with the score. Or either they had a premonition that was going to be outside of the strike zone. 2-1 offering, slap towards right field, and over to make the catch is Craig Heflin. And Talik flies out, leaving the bases loaded. But 3 come in, and ABAC takes a 4-run lead to the home half of the 3rd.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Well, if you want to watch the game later, we can fix you up. Go to the website right there on the front page. There is a link. Click on it. Go to a subscription channel. Pay a little teeny tiny fee. And then you got access to everything that we do. Not just today's games, not just last weekend's softball, but everything for a year on JockJive. Bottom of the 3rd, 8, 9, and 1 coming to the plate. Chase Gilligan starts it. Craig Heflin and Jakari Howard due up in the inning 2. First Jordan Stevens pitch on the outside part of the plate. Ground foul over in the direction of third by Gilligan. Jordan Stevens, 16 appearances during the regular season, 13 starts, 4-6. We're at 77 and a third innings. Gave up 76 hits, 51 runs, 42 earned. A 4.89 ERA. An appeal to see if he win, and Blue says he did. So Gilligan strikes out, and Craig Heflin coming to the plate. Stevens, 108 strikeouts. Now, if you were to spread those over a 9-inning game, he would be fanning 13 a contest. 7 home runs allowed. Craig Heflin, followed by Jakari Howard here in the bottom of the third. A little bit outside with the pitch to Heflin.
Well, you and I both know 4-run leads nowhere near say this game's over with. We've seen all it takes is a bad inning, a couple bad breaks, team gets hot, and the next thing you know, instead of a 5-1 lead, East Georgia's up 7-5. Those things are not strangers to JUCO athletics.
Well, I mentioned it before, and I think we have, as the walk is given to Heflin. It's like 9 little games all mixed in one, and hey, if you win enough of those 9 little games, you have a big enough one game of those 9. You never know.
That's a pretty good analogy there, Robert.
Well, thank you. I mean, I'm so rare with the good analogies that I'll latch on to that one. Jakari Howard popped out to left field in the first. And just like softball, there is another stop along the way for the winner of this one. However, unlike softball, it's going to be a road game.
This year it is. Region 7 Tennessee is. We usually alternate with them every year. We hosted last year, and this year's their year to host. They've got their tournament going on all week as well. So as we get along through the week, we'll check their bracket, see where they are, who's still alive. I would venture to say probably your top 2 in there is going to be Columbia State and Walter State. Perennial power Walter State. But you just, like here, you just never know. They've got to play the game and who gets the right breaks and everything else. But
what about Dyersburg? I know they typically have.
They can be there. I think they're down a little bit this year from what I've heard. But I wouldn't put it past David White there at Dyersburg either.
1-2 pitch. Howard taking one just a little bit low. Count goes even at 2. 4th inning for ABAC starts in the same spot the 3rd inning started. Quentin Rawls. That got the inside part of the plate. I don't think Jakari Howard agreed.
Now batting number 2, Robbie Lane.
Well, let's see if there's a valid argument. Maybe a tad inside. But some of those pitches just too close to take a chance on letting them go by.
Yeah, if you got 2 strikes on it, you got to choke up. And at least if it's close, just foul it off, give you another shot. Just can't take those.
Robbie Lang ground into a 4-3 in the first. John Coleman on deck. Beautiful complex, as you mentioned, $10.2 million. All donated funds. It includes a softball complex, which is just to my right. High pitch to Lane. I wonder if the gentleman who donated to this is looking for some other projects to donate to. I mean, I can make some suggestions.
Well, hey, listen, the old saying is you have to friend raise before you can fundraise. And he becomes a good enough friend to GHC, then I'm sure the fundraising part might be a little bit easier.
Now, wasn't he in love of Georgia Highlands?
I don't know. I don't think so.
3-2 pitch. Walk given. Couple of base runners are on. John Coleman to the plate, which means we are an at-bat away from the fellow who smacked his 20th home run of the year earlier in the game. And it's Thomas Saxon who moves to the on-deck circle. That is fouled off. And it is 0-1 on Coleman. Winner's got Georgia Highlands tomorrow. Loser starts thinking about 2025. Andrew College and South Georgia State coming up after this one. Little check swing. He did not go. An appeal made to the field ump. Now in Georgia, do you typically work with 2 officials during the regular season and 3 in post?
That's absolutely correct, yes.
1-2 the count on John Coleman. Coleman struck out in the first. 6 extra base hits this year, 4 doubles. 1 triple and 1 home run for John Coleman. Hitting .333. Trying to check a swing, could not. And Coleman will strike out, leaving 2 on. Meaning ABAC gets to face Thomas Saxon how they like to face him, with nobody on when we get to the bottom of the 4th. Top of the 4th first after this. Just about all white Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Now batting for the Stallions, number 1, Trenton Rawls.
Top of the 4th, top of the order, Quentin Rawls, 2 for 2 in the game. He has doubled and singled and scored twice. Kenton Collier and Drew Rothschild due up in the inning 2. As we get the top of inning 4 underway. East Georgia has stranded 2, ABAC 4.
I can already tell in between innings I'm going to have to do some chair shuffling because the polyethylene chairs that we had last week over in the softball are much more conducive to my derriere than these metal ones. Because it's going to be a long week if I don't have something comfortable. I guess I'm getting old. I need to find these old cushions that old ladies bring to churches and leave in the church pews. I need to bring me a cushion with me.
Only Dave Elder could bring a derriere into the broadcast. Well, give it a roll.
And still make it legal.
Well, I think there's one of those polyurethane seats right over there.
That's what I said. In between innings, we're going to be doing some chair shuffling here.
Kenton Collier has doubled and walked. Well, during the roughly a day off in between softball and baseball, went back to Alabama. I've got a little radio station that I'm getting back on the air today, as a matter of fact. But climbed about, 50 feet up to clear some vines. And I realized that was a job probably better suited for somebody else.
Were you harnessed and strapped in?
No, I was using, the left arm to harness me in.
Well, was Kim checking to make sure the insurance policy was up to date?
She did not know. That is sent towards center field. Base hit for Collier. 7 ABAC hits in the game. And a couple of base runners on with nobody gone for ABAC.
All right, Robert, there's this saying here, and it's applicable to most everything in life, especially as you get older. It's called dollar to grief ratio. It's the dollar that you have to pay somebody better than the grief that you have to go through to do it yourself.
Well, it was one of those tasks where, I really wasn't going to go that high, but once I was just going to pull the vines down, thought that would do it. And then I just got involved in the project and kept climbing higher to get it all off.
Well, if you just clipped them down at a couple of places lower level, given about a week, they would have all died anyway.
Well, they had died, and I didn't like the way they looked.
Oh, okay. So it's more of an aesthetic thing.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now we're getting clarification. Guys, if y'all are interested in buying a radio station, the next time Robert Williams climbs one, I'll make sure he has it up for sale in case something happens.
That's a good idea. Probably should have done that first. Drew Rothschild, 1 for 2 in the game. Ground into a 5-3 and single. Sent towards center field. That will drop in as a base hit. Brought in quickly, but the bases are loaded. And by the way, Troop has left the game after 3 innings of work. And the new East Georgia pitcher is Josh Bieber.
Now batting number 5, C.J. Rose.
And he has given up back-to-back base hits after the walk of Rawls and loads it up. So second consecutive inning, it's been loaded, this time on Baber. Troop did it in the 3rd. And there is a base hit that will drive in another run. Rawls will score station to station for everybody else. That turns it into a 6-1 game. Cameron Campbell coming to the plate.
Now batting number 31.
So Troop will wind up working 3 innings. And in those 3 innings face 18. And a total of 4 strikeouts. And walked 3, gave up 6 hits and 5 runs. And hands it over to Baber. Baber with the bases loaded, Cameron Campbell to the plate. Never a good sign when the commissioner is checking his weather app. Skies have darkened a bit. And now I think I'm seeing rain starting to fall as this one is fouled off. Cameron Campbell reached on a single and advanced on an error and then struck out. He is 1 for 2 in the game.
Well, Dash O'Neill comes over here into the booth, and he brings GHC's baseball coach, and he brings the rain with him. So we're going to send Dash back. No, but we looked at it, it's just one little blip, and it should be moving over us. I mean, it's not even enough. I'm not going to jinx it.
How big a blip?
It was. Just barely green. So
well, we're getting some of that just barely now. A light rain beginning to fall. We're not supposed to have any rain until Wednesday. But what do they know? They're meteorologists.
Yeah, that's.
Conversation on the bump. Joe Baber, who came into the ball game in replacement of Troop and has faced 4 and given up 3 hits and a walk.
And what drives me crazy is that for example, the Atlanta stations, I watch the news and it doesn't match up with their weather apps. I'm like, what's the purpose of having a weather app if it doesn't match up with the forecast that you give on the news? I mean, is that asking too much?
I don't think it is.
I don't either. But then again, as I told Dash when I got here, I'm here to solve the world's problems. And his response was, good luck with that.
Cameron Campbell 1 for 2 in the game. Bases full of Stallions in the top of the 4th. Matthew Glass on deck. Well, it didn't cover anything up because it wasn't supposed to rain. There is another base rip down the line into right field. Collier's in, Rothschild's in, Rose told to take it to the house too. He'll score a Cameron Campbell bases clearing triple. Three RBIs for Campbell.
ABAC has come to play today. When you've got that arm on the mound, it makes it that much easier.
And Baber has faced 5 and getting paid a visit by Coach.
And staff meteorologist Dash O'Neill said it's let up already, so.
So no worries.
He does our weather from the midnight to 7 a.m. shift.
And that's going to be it for Baber. Baber will leave. A new guy coming in. We'll find out who the new guy is and get you the Baber numbers after the break.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Next up for the Stallions, the DH, number 12, Matthew Glass.
Top of the fourth, the new pitcher is Ethan Breslin, sophomore right-hander, 15 regular season appearances and 4 starts. 6-2, worked 46 2/3 innings. Gave up 45 hits, 31 runs, 26 earned, an ERA of 5. 51 strikeouts, 2 home runs allowed. In relief of Baber. Baber faced 5, no strikeouts, 1 walk, 4 hits, and did not register an out. And it was the Campbell triple that drove in 3 that got Baber lifted and Breslin in. Matthew Glass, a strikeout and a walk. And now a strikeout and another walk. That is walk number 5 given up by East Georgia pitching.
Now batting, number 10, Jason Cash.
Puts runners on the corners for Chasen Cash. Cash grounded into a 6-3 and doubled in 2 runs an inning ago. And has a chance for another RBI here in the 4th. Inside pitch on Cash. 7 hitters to the plate without an out. Top of the 4th. And an 8-run lead. Joe Fisher is on deck. A little high, a little bit inside with the offering to Cash, who ground into the 6-3 in the 2nd. Doubled in the 2 runs in the 3rd. Strike delivered on the 2-0 from Breslin. Breslin more innings pitched than any other Bobcat this year. A little bit outside, 3-1. Over the course of the last 3 outs, ABAC has sent 15 to the plate. Inside pitch, walk given, bases full again. Runners at first, second, and third. Nobody gone. Joe Fisher to the plate. Fisher a strikeout and a walk. That is a high fly ball center field. Should bring in the run from third. Catch made by Vasquez. Both runners tag in addition to Campbell. Glass will go to third and Cash to second. So that's about as productive a fly out as you can get from Joe Fisher. One out for Wyatt Talik.
Now batting, number 6, Wyatt Talik.
Well, and apparently the runner, I would assume, going to second, left early. Only a single base runner aboard. That is a high chopper towards third, but foul. And that lone runner is Glass over at third.
That's him. That's him.
So 2 gone for Talik.
Not him, but it's him.
Count even at 1. And that was foul tipped back into the mid of Jones. Second consecutive inning, ABAC has sent 9 to the plate. Poked foul by Telek. Yep, I've swapped from Talik to Telek based on our PA announcer. Got to have somebody to blame if it's wrong. 1-2 pitch, too high, too far inside. Saxon, Jones, and Vasquez when you get to the bottom of the fourth for East Georgia. ABAC has plated multiple runs in every inning except the second. And that is going to be a base hit that brings in run number 11. Infield single, Coleman taking a shot at it. Said, heck, I'll swat at it on the short hop. Comes up empty, Glass will score.
Number 1, Quentin Rawls.
And Telek with an RBI single. Turns it into a 10-run game as we get back to the top of the order. And Quentin Rawls will become the 10th hitter in the fourth inning for ABAC. And a shot in the direction of center field. Vasquez backing up to the fence, and he will make the catch on the warning track. Deepest part of the park, Rawls sending it to Vasquez. He'll catch it, though, and a runner is stranded. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more runs in. Lead goes to 10 as we head to the bottom of the fourth.
Now batting for East Georgia State, number 35, Thomas Saxon.
That is hit very far, but barely foul. And watching it sail was Thomas Saxon. Saxon's got the lone East Georgia base hit of the game, and it was a home run. Came in the second inning, and it led off the second inning. Swung it in the direction of third. Fielded by Cash, goes first. Saxon out number 1. If you are East Georgia, there is some cause for concern. Here in the bottom of the fourth, the lead is 10. And there are mercy rules that kick in after 5 and 7. And the mercy rule after 5 is 10. Granted, 5 more outs, but if you're East Georgia, you don't want to go scoreless in the bottom of the fourth and count on the 5th to get necessary runs in. Tanner Jones popped out to first. 0 for 1 in the ball game. Now, in the event this game ended substantially early, would the other game begin early as well, as you get a strikeout of Jones? And the likely answer is no. I think they are pretty much going to try to stay on track. Well, there was supposed to be a replay mixed in there. Here we go, the K of Jones. Over to third, fielded there by Cash, and he will get Vasquez on the 5-3. 3 up, 3 down. We're going to the 5th. ABAC trying to put it out of reach early.
It's an 11-1 lead for ABAC.
Sports fans, we pack stadiums, arenas, and local gyms every day. And every sports fan is uniquely human. Seeing each play with your own eyes, triggering your own emotions. And as humans, we won't agree on every call, but we can act with empathy and consideration. So put yourself in the official shoes. Be more than a fan. Be officially human.
Leading off the top of the 5th for ABAC, number 7, Kenton Collier.
Top of the 5th, Kenton Collier will start it. Drew Rothschild and C.J. Rose due up in the inning, too. And already East Georgia just an hour 19 into the game. Have really got their backs up against the wall. You come into the game kind of with that back against the wall, having to win the game to advance. It's a play-in game. But now if you are ABAC, I make that East Georgia, really against the wall in that you've got to get a run in the bottom of the 5th to count on some additional innings to be able to get back into the game. Into the strike zone with the pitch to Collier, who has doubled, walked, and singled innings 1, 3, and 4. Has driven in a run and scored thrice. But yeah, the mercy rules 10 after 5, 8 after 7. Outside with a pitch, Collier is on. And if you're East Georgia, the last thing you want to do is get Stallions on and give them an opportunity to grow that margin so that you've got to play it even more. Right now, you've got to get a run in the bottom of the 5th. But for every one ABAC gets in the top part of the inning, you've got to add that to the number of necessary runs in the bottom of the 5th to extend the game to the 6th. Swing and a miss by Rothschild. He is 2 for 3 in the game. 11 hits. Let's see if every Stallion is hit. Everyone except the 8-hitter Joe Fisher. And we'll get away from Jones, and off to second goes Collier. And Fisher is driven in a run on a sac fly. Rothschild ground into a 5-3 in the first, had singles in the third and fourth. And the count will even up on Rothschild. And if you're ABAC, you want a mercy rule game, not to add insult to injury. But if you can save pitching, any way you can save it. And if that means a 5-inning, 10-run rule game, ABAC will take it. 2-2 pitch to Rothschild. Got the inside part of the plate. He will strike out. And for Breslin, that is strikeout number 1.
Now batting number 5, C.J. Rose.
C.J. Rose next. Rose 1 for 3. Has flown out to center, struck out and single. The single brought in a run. He scored a run too. ABAC 254 runs in 47 games. Low inside pitch, and the count evens at 1. Averaging nearly 6 runs a game. That is right over the head of Breslin into center field. Rounding third, Collier. He'll score. RBI single for Rose. Well, that looked like one Breslin might could get to.
Also, well, I mean, this guy's a 70 runner.
Now batting number 31, Cameron Kimball.
That is a problem. That is a problem.
But nobody knows better than Breslin whether he had a chance. And that will bring in another run and make it 2. East Georgia's got to score in the bottom part of the inning. Big cut from Campbell. And a bases clearing 3-run triple in the fourth. 2 for 3. 0-2 pitch. Able to get a piece of it and foul it back. Bottom of the order coming to the plate for East Georgia when you get to the bottom of the 5th. Hollis, Gilligan, and Heflin. Ground over towards first, fielded by Saxon, not able to get it to Breslin in time. And Campbell's got an infield single. Well, I don't know if this answers the question, but on the program, it says no games will start before the listed game time unless agreed upon by the 2 teams and approved by the commissioner. And I would assume the approval of the commissioner is just a formality. So, where Andrew College and South Georgia State is concerned, if the 2 coaches said, hey, we're okay with starting early, then likely the commissioner would say sure. And the game would begin a little bit early. Otherwise, looking at a 3 p.m. start. Matthew Glass, 2 walks and a strikeout. Walked with the bases loaded. Also came in and scored a run. 1-1 pitch. Back to the screen, 1-2. One ball, 2 strike offering, 1 away, 2 on, high and away with a pitch to Glass. He struck out to end the first, walked with the bases loaded in the third, walked and scored a run in the fourth. Breslin, the third Bobcat pitcher used. Troop came in, worked 3 innings. Baber worked 5 at-bats. And Breslin has been in the game for technically an inning in the third. 3-2 pitch, back to the screen. Busiest day of the 4 is on Wednesday. Wednesday, 3 games. And Thursday, you've got at least 1, maybe 2. Low and away, walk given, bases loaded for the 3rd consecutive inning. And here comes Coach. So let's see if Coach is about to take Breslin out. There is activity in the Bobcat bullpen, and some of that activity has just come through the gate. And there's the ceremonial transfer of baseball, which would indicate the new guy is on his way.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on his 6.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Dash at the plate for the Stallion.
Oh, I don't think he's a pop-up. Yeah, I don't think he's a pop-up. But yeah. He's good.
The new pitcher is Jordan Stevens, a right-hander who made 16 regular season appearances, went 4-6. Check that. East Georgia's pitcher. I mean, heck, if you brought your own pitcher in to pitch, you'd really be knocking the cover off the ball. And ABAC, though they have been knocking the cover off the ball and hadn't been off their own guy, Cash delivering with a 2 RBI shot. And 2 more runs are in. That is Cameron Summerlin who is pitching. So Cameron Summerlin, 12 regular season appearances, 1 start, 3-1. 46 innings of work, 45 hits given up, 31 runs, 26 earned.
Now batting number 4, Joe Fisher.
9.24 ERA. So Summerlin in as Breslin leaves. Summerlin, 5 home runs allowed, 41 strikeouts. And the need for runs in the bottom of the 5th grows.
Well, if no one's there, then I got it.
As I mentioned, for every run that comes in for ABAC in the top part of the inning, take that and add 1. So 3 have scored in the top of the 5th. It is 4 now needed for East Georgia in the bottom part of the inning, and now walked is Fisher.
I would take Condon with our first day.
3rd walk in a row, and from 2 different pitchers. It is the 4th walk in the inning. And Wyatt Telek coming to the plate. A little inside with the pitch.
Someone dropped that on me. I'm like, yeah, the dude does it. He's hit 500 and he's also hit 310 bombs.
I like to do things, on air so there's less resistance. Dash. Grab some headphones, man. See, I like to do this stuff on air because, coaches are like, well, I can't tell him no when he on air said, here, take some headphones. Dash, you got the day off. Compliments of a great year, 1 seed. And you're going to be playing the winner of this one. It certainly looks at this moment as though you're going to be taking on the Stallions.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to stop it right now, but I tell you what, every team in our league is capable of scoring a lot of runs, and East has an explosive offense, and so you really never know what's going to happen. But I guess they got to get the next 2 outs right now.
And struggle with that. This is the 8th hitter to come to the plate, Wyatt Telek. Top of the order, Quentin Rawls on deck. And for the last 2 innings, 3 and 4, at least 9 have come to the plate. That is a high fly ball to left field, but retrievable by Howard. He'll make the catch. Glass opts not to tag. And everybody else will have to hold as well. There's 2 gone.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the fun things about these tournaments, though, is you just never know what's going to happen, and you get some crazy games and some big scores and some low-scoring games and some great performances, and it's just fun to watch. And I'm just real proud that we get a chance to host this thing and see all these great teams from our league get represented.
How do you like this complex?
Oh, I love it. It's amazing. We're so blessed to have this, and it's just been a tremendous for our program.
A little bit outside with a pitch to Rawls. Now, the guy that donated the money to make this happen, that's not an anonymous gift, right? So we can talk about it?
As far as I know, it's an anonymous gift. So I don't know who it is. I just know that whoever it is, we're incredibly grateful. And, I wish I could thank them in person for what they've done for our program and for these young men. And, they just love coming here every day and going to work. And it's such a blessing to have such a beautiful place to call home.
And 2, where you guys are concerned, it's a blessing that keeps giving because you actually had to pay to use the facility you were at.
Yeah.
So it just keeps, year after year, kind of replenishing that supply of money into the athletic department.
Yeah, it's really going to be a shot in the arm for us in a lot of ways, and that's certainly one of them from a financial standpoint. We don't have to spend the money that we were spending, and we'll also, hopefully be able to host some events and have some games in here where maybe we can generate a little bit of revenue too. And, as well as I do in junior college athletics, you need all the help you can get.
Well, a gorgeous facility, and as I mentioned, right next door is the softball field that was put to good use last week for the GCAA tournament. Hit by the pitch, Rawls, and that, of course, brought a run in. The bases were loaded. And now a 15-1 ball game. Are you surprised at a 15-1 game between these two? I did look back, though, and see that ABAC, I think the last time they played in Swainsboro, won 20-4. So they've produced some runs against the Bobcats.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm surprised because in our league, you just never know what's going to happen. Everybody can really hit. any team is capable of just putting up a big number on a given day. And so I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I thought probably in an opening game it might be a little tighter, but this is the way it goes.
Dash, thank you very much for allowing us a great seat in the house, being able to broadcast, and thanks for letting me drag you in on the coverage a little bit.
Yeah, thanks a lot for being here, and thanks for having me.
Dash O'Neill, head baseball coach at Georgia Highlands, as we head to the mid-fifth break.
In 1995, the Alabama Baseball Coaches Association has held its annual Coaches Convention, where up to 450 high school and college coaches gather to learn more about their craft from some of the best coaches in Alabama and the country. The annual awards banquet is also held during the convention, where standout high school and college players and coaches from the past season are honored for their success. The banquet's highlight occurs when the new Hall of Fame class is inducted and the Distinguished Service Award recipient is
Noah Hollis.
We get the bottom of the fifth underway. Noah Hollis will start at Chase Gilligan and Craig Heflin due up in the inning 2. And East Georgia, to extend this ball game, has got some scoring to do. They've got to get at least 5 runs. And we're asking the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to start it here in the bottom of the fifth. And the count will go even at 2. 1 base hit in the game for East Georgia. It was a Thomas Saxon home run, his 20th of the year, and that began the second. A little high and inside with the offering from Jordan Stevens. Trying to get a 5-inning complete game. That is floated towards right field, drops in as a leadoff single. And East Georgia getting something started in the bottom of the fifth. No plans to go home early for the Bobcats.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 27, Chase Gilligan.
So a runner on for Chase Gilligan. Gilligan struck out in the third. Craig Heflin moving to the on-deck circle. Win this one, you got a noon game tomorrow. Taking on Georgia Highlands. Win the Andrew College South Georgia State game. And you'll be in a 3 p.m. battle with Gordon tomorrow. Gilligan's only other plate appearance, a strikeout in the third. He's hit by a pitch. And a couple of base runners on. And nobody gone. Craig Heflin to the plate. So the Bobcats thinking rally Jakari Howard to the on-deck circle. Tellett going out to the mound to have a conversation with Jordan Stevens. And probably part of the conversation was, man, keep that foot on the accelerator.
Now batting at the bottom of the order, number 34, Craig Heflin.
And the word of advice to Craig Heflin, keep it going. 9-hitter to the plate. He walked in the third. And drops into the strike zone, and the count goes even. One ball, one strike. 2 on, nobody gone. Not your typical base running activity, though, as East Georgia at this particular moment cannot afford to give up outs. Slide into an out. Count even at 2 on Heflin. Two-two pitch. That's ground up the middle, base hit for Heflin. Rounding third, coming home, Hollis, and 1 of the 5 is in. So Heflin with an RBI single. And still nobody gone here in the bottom of the 5th. And the tying run, or not the tying, but the run that could extend the game has moved to the on-deck circle. Jakari Howard 0 for 2. And here comes Coach as it gets Stevens. No ABAC, especially with a play-in game, meaning you're already a little bit behind the 8 ball with 1 and 2 seeds are concerned, because Gordon and Georgia Highlands is not going to use up pitching today. So if you're one of the 4 teams playing today, you want to consume as little pitching as possible. But obviously you want to win the game. And Coach out to talk with Stevens in hopes he can hit that reset button. Does not appear he's coming out of the game. Conversation over. Stevens stays. He'll face the top of the order, Howard.
Howard at the plate for the Bobcats.
Howard has popped out and struck out 0 for 2 in the game. Robbie Lane, John Coleman. 2 up in the inning, 2. 1 run in, 2 runners on. Outside with the pitch from Stevens. If you get 4 more runs, you get an inside 10. You've bought yourself some extra time. Two and 1 on Howard. He was the first out in the first inning and the second out in the third. $16 extra base hits, including 8 home runs. And is popped up towards center field. And coming over from right to make the catch, Cameron Campbell. Runners will not tag. And there is 1 away. Robbie Lane, a ground out and a walk. Ground out the second in the first, walked in the third. First pitch just a little bit high to Lane. John Coleman is on deck. Count evens up. Lane ground into the 4-3. He was the second out in the first inning, walked with 2 gone in the third. back to the plate, 1 away, 2 aboard, 1 in the bottom of the 5th. And now a 2-strike count on Lane. East Georgia needing 5 in the inning, 4 more. ABAC willing to concede a few runs, but want 3 outs before that 5th run plates. Lane 9 doubles, 3 triples, 4 home runs. More plate appearances than any other Bobcat. Batting .353. Sends another one foul. Second in hits on the team with 59. One-two pitch to Lane. Just a little bit high. And the count goes even. Lane 18 strikeouts, 35 walks. 2-2 pitch. Right up the middle. It'll ricochet off the umpire. Only play is, I make that off the pitcher, not the umpire. I'll get my body deflections right. So that will mean a 1's in there, a 1-6-3 to get Lane, with Gilligan moving to 3rd and Heflin to 2nd. Two gone. And now the question, can Stevens continue? He says he can. We will see if it has any impact on his throwing to Coleman.
Number 25, John Coleman.
And if you are the Stallions, you sure would like to get this one. And if you are the Bobcats, you sure would like to get the next one to the plate. The .438 hitting Thomas Saxon. Oh, 1 pitch. That's a base hit into right field. And Coleman will drive in another run. Heflin to 3rd. And Thomas Saxon now with an opportunity to extend the game to the 6th.
Now batting for the Bobcats, number 35,
Had his 20th home run of the year in the 2nd, ground into a 5-3 in the 4th. If you're the Stallions, I don't know if you give him anything to hit. A guy that's driven in 75 runs, batting .438, 20 home runs. Why serve him something to hit? Put him on and take your chances with the 5-hitter Tanner Jones. A good hitter in his own right, hitting .331. .30 pitch. That's into the strike zone. High inside offering, Saxon given a walk. Kind of an intentional, unintentional walk. Loads it up for Tanner Jones.
Now batting number 39, Tanner Jones.
Well, now if you're ABAC, you got to get a little more serious about getting that 3rd out. Now you've got the runner aboard that could extend the ball game. Thomas Saxon over at first. Jones 30 RBIs on the year. Couple of strikes delivered from Stevens. 10 extra base hits, all doubles from Jones. 1-2 pitch. That is shot into left field, base hit. Another run in. Jones with an RBI single. And now the game extending run is in scoring position. And that's got Tellett coming out to the bump to have a conversation with Stevens. Going, okay, we've gone about as far as we can go. And keep the game from going to the sixth. Vasquez, they've got to get 8 extra base hits on the year for Vasquez. 298 hitter. 22 RBIs, 21 walks, 18 strikeouts. In 121 plate appearances for Vasquez, who is 0 for 2 in the game with groundouts to first and third. Into the strike zone with the first pitch from Stevens. A little high with the offering to Vasquez. One pitch that is popped up in the direction of center field. Drifting over is Collier. He'll catch up with it, and that is your ball game. So some noise in the bottom of the fifth, but East Georgia will be eliminated.
2 runs on 4 hits, 2 left on base in the bottom of 5 for East Georgia State.
ABAC advances to take on Georgia Highlands.
That'll do it for game 1 of the tournament.
That will happen tomorrow.
After 5 minutes.
And of course, coming up in about an hour, game number 2 of our Monday doubleheader as South Georgia State takes on Andrew College. ABAC 12 hits, 8 stranded. No errors committed. 2 runs in the first, 3 in the third, a 6-run fourth, and a 4-run fifth. East Georgia, 5 hits, 2 errors. They will leave 5 on. And got a run in the second and 3 runs in the fifth. This one's over. Game 1 in the books. Hey, let's do it again in about an hour 6. We'll see you at 3 for South Georgia State and Andrew College. For the GCAA and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.